Welcome back to another explainer. Look, today we're tackling a reality that so many of us face, but honestly, we rarely want to talk about it. Yep, we're talking about body acne. Whether you're a teenager navigating the fun world of puberty, a dedicated athlete spending hours in sweaty gear, or just a busy professional sitting in restrictive clothing all day long, body breakouts can be incredibly frustrating. It's a huge confidence drain. It's something that affects people across the board. Yet, it somehow gets just a tiny fraction of the attention that facial acne gets.
And let's be real for a second. Dealing with body breakouts can make you feel incredibly vulnerable. Think about how many times you might have hidden behind a high-neck shirt or maybe avoided a swimsuit just because you felt self-conscious about your skin. When you're feeling that way and you're walking down the skincare aisle, man, it is so easy to get sucked in by products that promise overnight miracles. So that brings us to the central question we're answering today. Can a body wash actually clear up body acne? Like, is it just a marketing gimmick or a legitimate solution? Well, spoiler alert, the short answer is yes, it absolutely can help, but, and this is a big but, only if you approach it with the right science and the right expectations.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our roadmap today covers 1. The body acne battle, 2. What causes body breakouts, 3. Busting common acne myths, 4. Key acne-fighting ingredients, and finally, 5. Winning skincare habits. Starting off with Section 1, the body acne battle. So to really get this, we need to understand why the skin on our body requires a completely different tactical approach than the skin on our face. Here's a crazy fact that completely shifts how we need to look at this issue. The skin on your back contains some of the absolute largest sebaceous or oil-producing glands in your entire body. These things naturally pump out way more oil than other areas. And this biological setup, it perfectly illustrates why Bacne or back acne is so incredibly common among gym-goers, teens, and really just adults in general. Our bodies are literally biologically primed to produce a heavy amount of oil in these specific zones. Moving on to Section 2, what causes body breakouts? All right, so knowing we have these massive oil factories on our back and chest, what exactly triggers them to go into overdrive? Well, body acne is basically a perfect storm. First, you've got excess sebum mixing with a natural buildup of dead skin cells. Then add sweat into the mix. Now, it's actually really important to note here that sweat itself doesn't cause acne. Nope. But when sweat gets trapped against that thicker skin of our body, say under your tight gym clothes, it mixes with that oil, the dead skin, and a naturally occurring bacteria called Cutibacterium acnes. This trapped mixture multiplies, it triggers inflammation, and boom, you've got a stubborn breakout. Throw in some hormonal fluctuations from puberty, stress, or your menstrual cycle, and you've got the ultimate environment for a breakout. Which brings us to Section 3, busting common acne myths. Now that we know what's actually happening on a biological level, we really need to tear down some terrible advice you have probably heard before. There is so much misinformation out there that honestly just leads to more frustration. First up is the scrubbing myth. When we see a breakout, our first instinct is usually to literally scrub it into oblivion with a harsh loofah or some gritty physical exfoliant. But listen, aggressive scrubbing is one of the absolute worst things you can do. It actually damages your skin's protective barrier and drastically increases inflammation. You aren't scrubbing away the acne, you're literally just making your skin angrier. A gentle cleanse is far more effective and way safer for your skin barrier. Then there's the hygiene myth. There's this awful stigma that if you have body acne, you just aren't washing well enough. Let's completely put that to rest right now. Please, let go of any hygiene guilt you might be holding on to. Body acne is a biological reaction. It's driven by oil production, hormones, and bacteria. It's not just about being dirty. Because of that, simply scrubbing yourself with standard, ordinary soap isn't going to fix the problem. Standard body washes just remove surface dirt. To actually treat body acne, you need active, targeted ingredients that can penetrate the pore. Let's get into the good stuff. Section 4, key acne-fighting ingredients. Let's step away from the confusion of the pharmacy aisle and look at some concrete solutions. What actually needs to be inside your body wash for it to work? Well, there's a massive difference between the two absolute heavy hitters in acne treatment, salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. Salicylic acid is oil-soluble, which is totally its superpower. It can actually penetrate deep down into the oily environment of your pores to dissolve dead skin cells and unclog them from the inside out. It's fantastic for blackheads and preventing future breakouts. Benzoyl peroxide, on the other hand, operates a bit differently. It's an antibacterial powerhouse. It dives right in and kills the acne-causing bacteria while reducing inflammation. So if you're dealing with angry red pimples or inflamed chest and back acne, benzoyl peroxide is for sure your go-to.
Now, while salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide are definitely the stars of the show, a really great body wash will also include a strong supporting cast. You want to look out for niacinamide, which calms inflammation and helps fade those annoying post-acne marks. Then there's zinc PCA, which is amazing for regulating the excess oil production we talked about earlier. You might also look for tea tree oil for its natural antibacterial properties, or aloe vera, which gives you lightweight hydration to soothe redness. But hey, listen closely, because just as important as what is in your body wash is what is not. Make sure you're avoiding harsh sulfates, drying alcohols, artificial fragrances, and heavy, pore-clogging oils. All right, wrapping things up with Section 5, Winning Skincare Habits.
We've got the science and we've got the ingredients, but let's broaden the lens for a second. Because the reality is, even the most scientifically advanced body wash in the world is completely useless if your daily habits are working against it. So let's walk through the ultimate post-sweat routine. Step 1 is totally non-negotiable. Shower immediately after sweating. Seriously, don't sit in your gym clothes for an hour running errands. Get that mix of sweat and bacteria off your skin. Step 2, cleanse with the active acne-fighting body wash we just discussed. Now, Step 3 is where a lot of folks get tripped up, applying a non-comedogenic, meaning non-pore-clogging moisturizer. A lot of people with acne skip moisturizer because they're terrified it'll cause more breakouts. But here's the surprising truth. If you skip it, your skin gets dehydrated. And how does dehydrated skin compensate? By producing even more oil, and that leads to more breakouts. Hydration is key here. Alongside your shower routine, there are a few really actionable lifestyle adjustments you need to make. Let's group these to make them easy to remember. First, keep your fabrics clean and breathable. Try to wear moisture-wicking clothing, especially when you're working out, to reduce that friction that traps bacteria. Make sure you're washing your bed sheets weekly and your towels every few days, because dirty fabrics are a literal magnet for dead skin cells and oil. Second, keep your skin safe. Never, ever pick or pop your pimples. It just spreads bacteria around and drastically increases the risk of permanent scarring. Finally, support your skin's natural processes by gently exfoliating with chemical exfoliants, like salicylic acid, maybe once or twice a week, and drink plenty of water to support your skin barrier from the inside out.
I want to bring in some expert validation here real quick. Dr. Maduri, a well-recognized dermatologist, basically sums this up perfectly. She says, body acne requires a combination of proper cleansing, hydration, and consistency. Persistent or severe acne should be evaluated by a dermatologist. And she's spot on. If you're doing everything right, using the right ingredients, following the right habits, and your acne is still severe or painful or leaving scars, the right next step is to see a pro. There is absolutely no shame in needing personalized, prescription-level care for a stubborn biological condition.
So the most crucial point I want to leave you with regarding your routine is this: patience. Skincare is a journey, it's not a quick fix. One of the biggest mistakes you can possibly make is expecting instant overnight results and then just throwing your products into trash when you don't see them immediately. The science tells us to expect 6 to 8 weeks of consistent use before you see visible improvement. So give it that 6 to 8 weeks. Let those ingredients actually do their work.
We've covered the biological causes, the active ingredients that actually get the job done, and the essential daily habits required for clearer skin. So I want to end this explainer by challenging you to reflect a bit on your own routine. Go look at your shower caddy. Think about your post-gym habits. Are your daily choices helping your skin, or are they fighting against it? Armed with the science we covered today, you now have exactly what you need to take control and build a routine that actually works. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, here's to healthier, clearer skin.